If it's you that's stolen my Savannah monitor, you have two options. So it all started then. I come home from work. Now you see me, I've got my day job, which is actually a night job, driving buses for a living. That's my main sort of source of income. I'm a bus driver. I work regular late and I finish around 2 o'clock in the morning. That is quite relevant to this story. And I've also got my brand, which is Northern Exotics, which mainly consists of YouTube content. But I also have to have myself, which I hire out to reptile shops, or if a reptile shop needs some driving doing for some reason, I can do it, and just so on and so on and so on. But I come back from my generic bus driving job. I don't know why I do this every time I say bus driving. The steering wheel's like more this, but I walked in my door. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning, there or thereabouts, and you know, and as soon as you walk in the door and something's wrong, you instantly know. It just hits you, and you're like, you go into what's gone wrong mode, and you're looking around and stuff like that. My first point of call was straight into the living room, which is where I've got Hugo, my Savannah monitor, Popcorn, my Carlson Glow boa constrictor, and my new big leopard gecko bioactive enclosure. All the glass was open. All the glass had just been opened up on all of the enclosures. Now this is the funny thing. So somebody's been into the property and they've actually opened up all the enclosures. And why would somebody do this? Hugo wasn't in his enclosure. Popcorn wasn't in his enclosure, which was confusing because if you keep a fair few animals, but you spend a lot of time with those animals, you learn every little personality about those animals. I'd fed Popcorn just a day before this incident had happened. Now normally for 4 days after feeding, Popcorn won't even leave his hide. He'll just go into his hot hide and just start digesting the food, and that's where he is for 4 days. So Popcorn hasn't physically crawled out of his enclosure on his own. He won't do that, that's not him. So he was physically taken out of his enclosure and put over the other side of the room. And the leopard gecko, the glass was open, but I would assume because she hides a lot and you can't really see her and you can't really move hides around and stuff, that she was actually still in her enclosure. She was in a middle hide and that's where she just sort of was. So I managed to just shut the door on that one perfectly fine. Then I thought, hold on a second, Hugo's still not there. I'll come back to that. Let's go around the other rooms and just see what's around. The only other room that's got animals in is this room that we're in right now. This is my reptile room. Now I've got a load of plants over here. I've got my bearded dragon here. Rosie, my boa constrictor here. That's my morning gecko enclosure. What else? That's just a fog system. Up here, what's we got up there? We've got the morning gecko babies, the eggs, 2 tarantulas. We've got an Asamani and a... I don't even know what it's called. It's a salmon pink bird eater. I don't know the proper name. It's Lapropalm or something or other. Here, this is Mushu. You can see all the new stick work in his enclosure. That looks amazing. Underneath there is Charlie, and underneath that one, all the way down there, is empty. Now, I'm sat there. I've got a few little bits and bobs up on this rack as well. Nothing massively special. I've got my rack down here. You can see it just here. The top one, we've got a baby leopard gecko in that's going through a lot of care issues at the moment. We've got the millipede, and we've got an adult male leopard gecko down there. So we do have a fair few animals. Every single enclosure had the doors wide open. Nearly every single animal was out of their enclosures. Now that, if you can sort of look at it this way, here and there, we've got a loose, aggressive boa constrictor out with a male leopard gecko. That's a big deal. We've got to sort that out straight away. Luckily, the morning geckos up there, they were all still in their enclosure. I managed to count them all. You can see how we've got the heat source up there now, and that's doing wonders at the minute. The morning geckos are actually coming out and basking on the bromeliad. It's absolutely beautiful. But every single reptile enclosure that we have, the doors were opened. Now this is weird. Somebody has broken into this building. Somebody has opened up all of the enclosures. Now, me and a friend of mine, we went through for 4 days and really hammered this place clean. We got every single animal back except for Hugo. He's a 3-foot lizard. It's not like we can just misplace him. It's not like he can just be held up in a little corner. We've spent 4 days looking for Hugo. Hugo's not here. Hugo's not here. Somebody has stolen my Savannah monitor Hugo. Now, this works in 2 different ways right now. There was no other theft. There was nothing. Just Hugo is missing from this property. So that means it was a targeted attack. Somebody came here solely for that purpose of doing this. Now, we have learnt lessons from this. We have got CCTV footage being installed as we speak. But Hugo is gone. If you're the person, because let's face it, somebody has to have known what was here. If they've not taken anything, I don't understand it though. Every single YouTube channel, reptile YouTube channel, has that one famous animal. You've got Clint's Reptiles, he's got Gus Gus. You've got Camp Kennan, he's got Slinky. You've got Brian Barchett, he's got Lucy. You've got me, I've got Hugo. Why would somebody take Hugo instead of one of the other animals that have got a much bigger monetary value to them? Hugo is a £60 lizard, it's not a massive cost. I'm trying to establish why somebody would physically take one of the most inexpensive animals that we have. What were they going to do with that animal? Are they going to sell it on? If they were going to sell an animal on, then they would have taken Popcorn, my Carl Sunglow boa constrictor. They would have taken my Morning Gecko whole enclosure. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's a bit tricky. So we've got a few options here. Whoever did it obviously watches this content. They obviously watch this channel. You have two options. One, you can drop the animal in a box sealed on my doorstep. Ring the doorbell, hit the door hard, do whatever you can, give it to a neighbour, leave it outside a neighbour's door and knock their door. Just anything so that you don't get physically caught, so you don't get any notification that you're the one that's done this. Or option two, you can take it down to Sutton Pets and Exotics and say, you've just found this Savannah monitor. They're on high alert, they know what's happened, they will take it in, asking no questions. Or you've got option three, we've got a good friend Greg at Cheshire Reptile Rescues. He's on Facebook, I'll link in the description down below. You can phone him up, contact him, message him on Facebook Messenger and say you found a bosc monitor. He will physically come and pick it up. If he doesn't come and pick it up, he will phone me to come and pick it up. We will determine whether that is Hugo and we'll go from there. Either way, these are your last options to returning property that isn't yours. Please give me Hugo back. Anyway, all the animals, they're all back in their enclosures. Every single animal was found, except for Hugo. So let's club together, share the video out onto social medias. We're in the St Helens area of Merseyside, so if you do hear anything, drop a comment down on this video. We've done this before where an animal has been stolen, and not from me, but from a local shop, and we all clubbed together and we found that animal. So I am confident that we can find Hugo. Let's put some social media pressure on this. Merry Christmas. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing Christmas.